If we're going to solve this solution, we need to figure out how many solutions that this is going to have. So we recognize, hey, we've got the angle side side situation. Now I need to go through those three requirements. Is angle A acute? It is. Angle A acute. How does A compare to B? Well, A is less than B. Because we've met the first two requirements for the angle side side situation, we need to go through and figure out what our H is and compare that to the other two problems for A and B. So we draw in a height here. We drop in that altitude. So I come over here and I know that the sine of 58 degrees is going to equal H over 12.8. I'm just using my basic sine, cosine, tangent there to solve for it. So 12.8 times the sine of 58, that's going to give me the value of H. So I put that into my calculator. Make sure you're in degree mode. 12.8 times the sine of 58 gives me a value that H is going to be equal to 10.9. So if H is equal to 10.9, then I know that H is less than A, which is less than B. Because we've met these three requirements under the angle side side situation, we know we are going to have two solutions to this problem. And in order to get full credit, we need to work both solutions. So I'm going to come up with case 1, and I'm going to organize my paper so it's very easy to follow. Case 1 and all their solutions, and then case 2 and all its solutions. So we start off the way that we always have for law of sines. Sine of 58 degrees over 11.4 is going to equal the sine of angle B over 12.8. Okay, we're going to cross multiply here. Divide by 11.4. So in order to find angle B, I'm going to take the inverse sine of 12.8 times the sine of 58 over 11.4. Okay, we'll put this one in our calculator. Inverse sine of 12.8 times the sine of 58. Don't forget to close that parenthesis. Divide it by 11.4. And we should get 72.2 degrees. And we're going to just round to the nearest degree. So angle B is 72.2 degrees. Maybe. We don't know for sure. Because angle B, because this is the ambiguous case, angle B could be 72.2 degrees, or it could be the angle that's supplementary to that. So I'm going to go over to case 2 and write that down before I forget. So under case 2, angle B is going to be 180 minus what we just found here of 72.2. So that comes out to be 107.8 degrees. So again, we don't know if angle B is 72.2 or 107.8. Because of that, we have to find angle C and side C for both cases. So let's come back to case 1 and let's finish this out. The next thing I have to do is if angle A is 58 and angle B is 72.2, what is angle C going to be? It's going to be 180 degrees minus 58 minus 72.2. So if that's the case, angle C comes out to be 49.8 degrees. If angle C is 49.8 degrees, we can go back to our big triangle now, go back to the whole thing here, and use the law of sines to figure out what the side C is. So I'm going to set it up. I'm going to use angle A. You don't have to. You could use angle B, but I'm going to use the sine of 58 degrees over 11.4 is going to equal the sine of 49.8 degrees over side C. Oops. Now we cross multiply. So we end up with C times the sine of 58 degrees equals 11.4 times the sine of 49.8. Divide by the sine of 58. I'm going to let you into your calculator, and you should come up with an answer of 10.3 for side C. So if angle B is 72.2, angle C is 49.8, and side C is 10.3. Now go back to case 2, and let's finish that out. If angle B is 107 degrees, 0.8, now let's figure out what angle C would be. So angle C would be 180 degrees minus 58 degrees minus 107.8 degrees. If that's the case, then angle C will be 14.2 degrees. Now, if angle C is 14.2 degrees, let's figure out what side C is going to be. So I'm going to use the law of sines again, and I'm going to use angle A again. Sine of 58 degrees over 11.4 is going to equal the sine of 14.2 degrees all over side C. Cross multiply, C times the sine of 58 equals 11.4 times the sine of 14.2. Divide both sides by the sine of 58. Put that into your calculator all in one step. So if you do that, 11.4 times the sine of 14.2 all over the sine of 58 should give you a value of 3.3. So if angle B comes out to be 107.8 degrees, angle C is 14.2 degrees, and side C is 3.3. Remember, you need to have all of these answers and all this work shown for full credit on these problems.